Hey everybody, Diane Hagerty, Grassroots Taxes. This is a video in a series. You probably want to watch my first one today if you haven't watched it already. Now I'm going to talk about the employees. If you have a W-2 job, how the coronavirus legislation passed by H.R. 6201 yesterday in the Senate, how that's going to affect you. If you're an employee, remember this also counts. If you are a single member LLC and you are filing as an S-Corp and you have yourself on payroll and you have 941 forms filed every quarter, you're paying unemployment on yourself, this applies to you too. This is everybody that is employed by a company that has 1 to 500 employees. So it's pretty much everybody that knows me, but I don't know how far these videos are going to go. So 1 to 500 employees. Now this is what you need to think about. Your employer may very well lay you off. If they lay you off, go get unemployment right now. You get unemployment by going to the Department of Workforce Services website for your state. Look for employees, how to apply for unemployment. Every state has it. Go get unemployment now. If your employer sends you home or they close, another scenario, especially for single member LLCs, if you're paying yourself on payroll and you have like one major client. I have a lot of people like this where they get one 1099 for their professional services and we run it through an S-Corp. If you're doing that and your client shuts down and you have no work, lay yourself off. Go get unemployment right now. Just sign up for it. There is no more wait week. In other words, you used to have to be traditionally, you have to be out of work 7 days, and on the 8th day you can claim unemployment. The federal government is allowing that to go bye-bye. You can just get unemployment on your first day out of work, and there's also not going to be any job search requirements or any strings attached. If you're out of work, you can get unemployment. Your employer's rate will not change. They're always like, oh, don't claim unemployment, it'll make my rate go up. Your rate will not go up. Their rate won't go up. This will cost nobody anything. The feds are going to pay for it. Go get unemployment right now. Now, if your employer does not shut down and you need to stay home because you need to take care of your children that are out of school, or you are self-quarantining, or you've been quarantined, or you're actually sick, if you need to take sick leave, this is what they passed yesterday. The first 10 days, now this isn't calendar days, this is 10 work days. This is like 2 weeks. If you're full-time, if you are part-time, it's going to be calculated on your most recent schedule, what you should be working, what you should have been working that week, what you should have been working, your schedule is. It's kind of, every employer is different. They haven't really had any guidance on a hard time period. There was in the original legislation, but they've taken that out. So I guess it's up to your employer or you to know how many hours you should be working this week. You get basically what your 10 days would be of paid sick leave through your employer. And yes, they are required to pay you this. You do not have to take it all at once. So if you have somebody to watch your kids on Monday and Tuesday, and you go into work Monday and Tuesday, and you need Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, you can spread this over a couple of weeks. Once those 10 days of sick leave expire, you are able to go on FMLA, which was Family Medical Leave Act, been around since the 90s. Used to only happen for people with over 50 employees. Guess what? Now it's everybody with under 500 employees. If you are required to be off work, you can get 2/3 of your paycheck. Now, this is weird legislation wording. It says not less than 2/3. So your employer can pay you the full amount. I don't know if they will or not. They will be getting reimbursed for it. I'm still really unclear on what that means, but they have to pay at least 2/3 of your paycheck for the next 10 weeks after that 2 weeks of work expires. Please note that if you are a tipped employee, you are not going to be paid at $2.63 or whatever your server wage is. You will be paid sick leave and FMLA based on minimum wage in your state. So that's a huge win there. So you're not going to get $2.63 an hour and no tips. It's based on what they report to unemployment, which includes your tips. Granted, this is only a 12-week solution package. It doesn't go beyond that. The Senate's working on stuff today. I don't know. There's a lot we still don't know. Anyway, if your employer cannot cash flow paying you, okay, they're going to have to pay you this employment and they're not going to get reimbursed till July. So if they can't afford to pay you, they're going to lay you off. So if there's sending you home, just go home. Or see if your employer will voluntarily lay you off if they're cutting your hours. You want your employer to stay open, and you want your job back when this is over. So please don't get all over your employers and try and shut them down and force you to pay you sick pay because you can't get unemployment or whatever the problem is. You want your job back at the end. If you shut your employer down, you're not going to have a job at all when this is over. So be careful. If they tell you to get unemployment, just go get it, because your employer's just finding out about this today too. That's on another video. Nobody knows how any of this works yet. Nobody. So when you go to your employer and say, hey, I want my 2 weeks sick pay, they're going to look at you like you have 3 heads. Tell them to watch my videos. But anyway, take it easy. Everybody's learning about this at once. I want to have more details on exactly how we apply for all this stuff, how employers do this, but your employer should give you 10 days of sick pay and then an additional 10 weeks of FMLA paid leave at least 2/3 of what you normally get paid. This is Diane Hagerty, Grassroots Taxes. I don't know what else to say here, other than I got your back. Watch my other videos.